Ignite is a student mentorship program conceived and presented by the 1992 batch of engineering and technology alumni present across the globe. Through this event, alumni from across the globe are interacting with students through online video conferencing and guide the students on the various career options available and how to prepare for them. These interactions are also webcast live on the Annamalai University Alumni Association's YouTube channel and will be available as a ready reckoner for the future generations. Ignite consists of 20 unique sessions on various aspects of career building and conducted between 1st of February and 26th of February. We are in the third week of Ignite and today is the 15th session. Mr. C.S. Rajesh, founder and CEO, Embed Your System is going to address today's session on how do you know you are an entrepreneur. Mr. C.S. Rajesh is an alumnus of 1992 batch of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. After that, he completed Masters in Electrical Engineering from University of Arkansas, USA. With an unrelenting determination, Rajesh rose quickly through the engineering management ranks at various startups and public companies such as Schlumberger, Bain Networks, Artago Systems, and Aris, designing enterprises and carrier network equipment during the 90s Silicon Valley boom. These experiences lead Rajesh to envision a flourishing marketing for embedded system for networking equipment and connected devices. So in 2004, together with others from Artago, he founded Embed Your. As founder and CEO, Rajesh has led Embed Your Systems through 16 years of profitability and successive growth averaging 35% per year and has built a loyal customer base among Fortune 500 network and telecom equipment providers and Fortune 500 companies. Now we request Mr. C.S. Rajesh to help us identify the entrepreneur in us.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Lakshana, for the introduction.
Thank you, sir.
Organizing all this, amazing, like I told you, I wish I was there with these kids so I can experience all this. 22, 30 years ago, we didn't have this chance to be able to get an opportunity to listen to our seniors. So I'm glad that you, Mr. Gopi Damodran and the department, you guys have done an awesome job to be able to bring this together. How much time do I have?
45 minutes, Rajesh.
Okay, so it's 10:03 right now. I have till 10.
I think we are experiencing some challenges with your net, I think.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that I can. It says slow internet connection. Okay, give me 1 second. Yeah, I'm trying to. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, can you guys see the slides?
Yes.
Let me start off by asking one big question. How do you know you're an entrepreneur? How do you know you want to be in the business of doing business, right? Okay. So I'm going to ask you guys to answer a bunch of questions. You don't have to say anything right now, but mark your answers now and we will review it towards the end of my presentation. People who start businesses are, if you guys have a notepad, circle your answer, A, B, C, or D. People who start businesses are A, B, C, or D, or E. I'll share my answers towards the end. So okay. Question number 4. Question number 5. Question number 6. Question number 7. So I'm going to start off my presentation with these 7 questions. And years of being in business. And I'm going to try my best to teach you guys the formula. And I'm going to talk about 4 things that helped me start my business and run my business. And then I'm going to show you how these formulas worked in my life. And then at the end of the presentation, I'm going to show you how it all worked out and what the answers are for these questions. Make sense? Mahindra, you can still hear me? Everybody
Yes.
can hear me till now?
Yeah, we can hear you, but I think there is a slight delay, Rajesh, from the net, I think internet. There is a slight delay between.
Okay.
But the video is a little jerky, but we can hear your voice.
Video is little jerky. Okay, let me see if I can do something about it. Give me 1 second.
Please.
Okay, I think I tried my best. Let's see how this works out. Hopefully this should be better, Mahindra. Okay. Okay, so the first philosophy that I learned in my life, the purpose paradigm. Okay. In life, you have to start with a purpose. Without a purpose, you will never know where you're going. And this is the magic principle that I've applied every time that I've tried to grow in my life. Because there are a couple of things that purpose does. Purpose is something that helps you build passion. Passion helps you create wants. See, there's a big difference between need and there's a big difference between want. Need is you need clothes, you need food, you need to live in a place. But the want is created by passion. So everything that you do in life has to start with a purpose. And I'll run through an example. As you graduate and as you go into the real life, let's say your purpose is to buy a car. Let's say you write down your purpose and you say that I want to buy a car in my life. Buying a car, and if you feel passionate about buying a car, meaning you sit in the, you think about sitting in the car, you think about driving the car, you think about how the car feels, it's your car, you bought it with your money. All of a sudden, that entire feeling creates a passion. Purpose வந்து குறிக்கோள், passion வந்து என்ன சொல்றது, ஒரு அனுபவம் கொண்ட ஒரு ஆசை. And if you start envisioning passion, then it creates a want. Now you want the car. Once you want the car, what happens is you start creating goals. I'm giving you an example. Once you create goals, you all of a sudden create this drive. The drive then creates a differentiation. A lot of times you see a lot of people, you will see a lot of your colleagues, your like friends, they all have so much drive. And you will always think like, why are they different than me? Or why is she different than me? Why is he different than me? There is no difference here because some of those people have found their purpose. Because of their purpose, they have found a passion. Because of their passion, they found a want. Because of their want, they found their goals. That created the drive within them. So the purpose paradigm is going to be very, very important as you guys graduate and go in search of jobs or when you build your career. It's going to be very important for you to understand, start your life with a purpose. When you're in school, when you're in Annamalai University, you won't even feel the need to start defining your purpose. It's okay. But as you graduate, as you get out of college, start defining your purpose. And purpose cannot be like, you don't have to find purpose for like another 30 years. It doesn't matter. Find small purposes. Small steps will lead to big steps. Find the first purpose, finding the best job for myself. Purpose number one. Once you find the job, find the next big purpose. I want to buy a car. Second purpose, follow the same paradigm. Then once you buy a car, follow the next big paradigm called purpose. I want to buy a house. So it doesn't matter that you have to find the purpose for your life right now. You find a purpose that helps you build your goals and your career, because that's what I learned. And I'm just sharing whatever I learned, right? The next big thing, I'm going to skip this, the same slides in a different way, because I want you guys to learn and understand. A lot of people have different drives. A lot of times we postpone decision making. The reason we postpone decision making is because we don't understand all the different things for us to make a decision. So rather than taking the hard decision, we just postpone it. When somebody comes and asks you, should we go buy this piece of land? Or should we go embark on this new journey? Or should I go participate in this big discussion? You always hesitate. The reason you hesitate is because you're thinking about data. You're thinking about things that will help you make the decision. And then you never make the decision. But the interesting thing based on research is the more decisions you make in life, the better you get. Now, a lot of decisions will not be the right decisions. It's okay. But the important thing is that you learn from decisions that did not yield the best results for you. So it's not about making decisions. You make decisions really quickly, but you learn from some of the decisions that didn't help you. So that is why decision making as you grow in your life becomes extremely important. That is what helped me. It's very important. So decision making is key for success. Should I go for this job? Should I do this? Should I help this person? Should I and do something else in agriculture engineering, or should I transform this? These are key things that come to your mind, but you never make the call. Make the call quickly, and if you find it's a wrong decision, fix it and make the right decision right away. And then you learn from the decisions you made. And as you grow in your life, the more decisions you make, the more successful you will be, because you've learned from the past. It's a feedback loop. This is one thing I learned very early on in my life. Get out of your comfort zone. Why? What is your comfort zone? It's a dream killer. A lot of us remain in a comfort zone for a long time. We like doing certain things. We become good at it. Once you become good at it, you think this is your life. And then you sacrifice your life to stay in that comfort zone. That is what kills your dreams. Don't get caught in your comfort zone. Because I learned that early on in my life. Don't get caught in your comfort zone. Because why? Leave that comfort zone and create a passion. Passion to go out of your comfort zone, to go find what is the next big challenge. Once you find the next big challenge, commit yourself to the next big challenge. It takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of courage to commit yourself to the next big challenge. Once you commit yourself, you will build a new capability. Once you build a new capability,
Rajesh?
the problem is life, employers, employment will catch you in your comfort zone. You will become so good at it that job will come easy to you. Then you will do the same thing every day. You will go build a house with that salary. You will go build a car, or you will buy a car with that salary, and you will get caught in that comfort zone. That is what kills your dreams. Because now you try to live within that comfort zone. Forget that comfort zone. Create the passion to go, be courageous, to commit yourself to go and build the next dream. When you are committed, you will build new capabilities. When you build new capabilities, there's more opportunities in front of you. That's what, again, I learned in being in business for like 17, 18 years. Now, what do I mean build new capabilities? You start off with code engineering. All of you guys, girls who are listening to this speech, you guys have amazing background, studying in one of the most prestigious institutions in India, core engineering. You will find jobs in your core engineering sector. Build adjacencies, build new capabilities. Try and understand what management means. Try and understand what accounting means. Try and understand what finance means. Try and understand what marketing means. Go look at operations. Go look at strategy. Once you go into a job, don't get happy. Start looking for adjacencies. Adjacencies are something that surrounds your job, and start building capabilities in every one of these fields. It's an example, right? Because once you start building new capabilities, it helps you differentiate yourself, helps you build a bigger future. Like I said, the new capabilities helps you build a big opportunity for yourself. Makes a huge difference for you and makes a huge difference for the market that you're going after. So these are my fundamental learnings from 16 years. So I wanted to summarize it in like 4 slides, and here I am, I've summarized it. Now I'm going to tell you my story. Graduated from Annamalai University with electrical engineering degree in 1992. I came to the US in 1992, July, studied in University of Arkansas, Fayetteville, Oklahoma State, got a master's degree in electrical engineering. 1998, I moved to the Bay Area. Silicon Valley, 1998 was like prime time, Silicon Valley. Valley was booming. I worked for Schlumberger Technologies, and I worked for Bay Networks that got acquired by Nortel Networks. Cisco was just starting right then. Silicon Valley was like the optical center. And after working for many companies, I said, what is my purpose? And my purpose was always to build a company. And in 2004, I realized that it was a really interesting time. Brand was taking off like crazy. Real-time operating systems were going down. Linux was becoming main trend. And overall product life cycles were shrinking. And I said, this is the perfect time to start a company to be able to create something where I'll build an office in India, I'll build an office in the USA, and I will build products for our customers in electrical engineering, which I studied. I still remember Millman and Alkius, and Velu Chami was one of our lecturers. And I still used to ask him, sir, இதெல்லாம் படிச்சு என்ன சார் பண்ண போறேன்? He used to always tell me, இது படிப்பா இப்போ யூஸ் ஆகாது, வாழ்க்கையில எப்பயாவது யூஸ் ஆகும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாரு. And I still remember when I started understanding Wi-Fi, when I started understanding interference, when I started understanding communications, Millman and Alkius came in to be the best handbook that I used. So again, whatever we study now may not be relevant, but I think it will lead you. And for me, it led me to my passion, led me to start whatever I started. Now, the plan that I came out with when I started the company was who, what, how, why. Who is the person who's going to lead the company? What are we going to do? How are we going to do it? Why should we do it? Right? So market was the biggest thing.
Your slides are on the screen.
No, Rajesh, I think the slides are not changing.
Oh.
So I think your video is also still jerky, or you can probably switch off the video and then try sharing it. So the net is better. Yeah. Okay. Good now.
Is it okay?
Yeah, fine.
Okay. You guys saw this, the plan, who, what, how, why?
No.
You saw this?
No.
Wow.
But we were able to hear you.
Okay, give me 1 second. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to try sharing again. Sorry. We had a big winter storm, so now it's like.
This is fine.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Can you see the screen now?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. You guys saw this?
No.
Okay, my video's not working.
Starting now. Starting now.
Okay. You have to probably choose the webcam. It's not on.
It's fine. This looks good. It's fine.
Okay, all right.
Okay, close.
Okay. Okay, so is it any better now?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so you see this, right?
Yeah.
This is what I was talking about. This is how I started. So engineering opportunity in Aris, and I said, okay, this is going to be one thing that we want to start our business with. And the plan was who, what, how, and why. The market was going after broadband networking equipment. The problem was, how do we fill the expertise crunch? Solution was try to bring an embedded engineering services company. And we had all the experience in Silicon Valley, and we said, we're going to bring the team of experts to help build a company. That's the plan, right? Now, the most important thing is, if you start a company, you cannot do it all. You have to think about it, and you have to bring all the right people to actually run the company. I mean, a CFO, CTO, CEO, CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, Chief Technology Officer, Chief Financial Officer, the Chief Executive Officer. Because the one thing that we always all forget is we believe that if we start a company, or you, me, or any one of us start a company, we always believe that we can do it all. No, you have to bring the right people and make sure that you dedicate yourself to 100% of your job title. It's very, very important when you start a business. And then you hire for experience. Now, you may not always have the ability to do it because the money becomes very, very, very important. How and how much, and who do you bring and what do you bring, right? And what kind of company do you start? Services or products? Do you have to bring anchor customers? You have to know your numbers. How much money will you spend? And what is it that you're going to spend every month? And how much money you're going to spend over the time of your life? And what is the cash flow? What is the runway? What are your milestones? What are your revenue? Funding sources, friends and family always, angel investors, Pulsar Capital, VC Capital. Friends and money can give you money to start the business loan, incubation, meaning you go into an incubator who funds you and you start a company, and then there's always crowdsourcing. When you start a business, it becomes very important. And as each and every one of you graduate, if you think about starting a business, think about going into an area where you don't have to compete with everyone and everybody in the entire segment. It's called the bowling pin strategy. So what does that mean? Don't go sell cars to everybody in the world when cars are being sold across the world. You pick your niche. You pick whether you want to sell small cars, medium cars, or big cars. And even in the small cars industry, pick your niche. That's what Tesla did. Tesla did not enter the market selling cars for everybody. They said, we want to enter the market. Don't compete with Chrysler, Ford, and GM, and everybody else. We want to come in and compete by doing something very special, by selling electric cars that are not there in the market. And we want to build a niche where nobody else has it. So if you are thinking about building a company, as you graduate and come out of Annamalai University, think about building a niche in that area. It's called the bowling pin strategy. Now, when you build your strategy, don't try to build the entire product. You don't have to build the entire car. You can find the person who wants to build the entire car, and you can build something called the minimum viable product, meaning the smallest segment of the product that helps you attach yourself to that person who can build the entire product. It becomes extremely, extremely critical. So again, envision. My advice, what I learned again, is if you want to go after building a company or starting a business, go after the bowling pin strategy, build a unique product, and even there, find a partner, build the minimum viable product, and you can then grow into a business that builds the whole product. Evolve within your market. This is, again, something I alluded to at the beginning of the slide. Building new capabilities is very important. When you start a business, your business will grow old if you don't try and understand what your market adjacencies are. My market adjacencies, for example, like I told you, core engineering is the central thing that you start with, but you can learn marketing, you can learn finance, you can learn accounting, and you can learn strategy, and you can learn execution. So even when you start a business, it's always very important to learn the adjacencies in the market so you don't get left behind. Now, what did we do? I started a company in 2004. We were building product engineering services. Then we realized that Wi-Fi was a big deal. We understood that more connected devices are going to come into being, and we built a vertical where we moved into Wi-Fi, and we saw that home market and residential Wi-Fi was growing like crazy. We started building a product, and we entered Singapore with a new product that we started deploying in Singapore, made a huge difference for us as a company. We built this new product called Astral, which is our offering, and Singtel today deploys it. AIS in Thailand deploys it. Malaysia Telecom is going to deploy it. Millicom in South America deploys it. So we have customers all across the world that are starting to deploy. Now, we didn't go into that adjacency 4 years ago, 5 years ago. We started investing the money, and now we are finding ourselves extremely successful because we went from core engineering, Wi-Fi, we started building some adjacencies, and now we are trying to grow the company across the world, right? Now, in all of this culture, people that you trust with become very, very important. Trust and commitment is very important. You have to understand what your ambitions are and start focusing your energies on that ambition. Again, ambition goes back to passion. Because if you start with passion and a purpose, then you will know that will create a want, it'll create your goals, it'll create a drive. And once it creates a drive, you start differentiating yourself. And every stage in your life, like once you've reached stage B, create a new purpose, go to stage C. Once you reach stage C, create a new purpose, go to stage D. And if you do build a company, which I think every one of you is possible, I mean, is a possibility for each and every one of you, connected vision, building a culture, creating investments, being very diligent about it, again, starting with purpose, becomes very, very key in preserving that culture. One thing I learned is focus. Focus is expansion, is follow one course until successful. A lot of us will start on a course, then we'll drop it because we think it's not going to help us. Then we'll go do the second thing. Then we don't have confidence. We'll drop it. Then you go to the third thing. You have to have the passion. You have to have the mindset to follow one course until you're completely successful. And you need to have the passion to kind of recalibrate yourself every time that you face a failure, because life is always going to be very, very hard. Once you understand what the course is and you reset your course, it's going to be very, very useful, especially when you start a business of your own, or whether you're working in a company. It's always like this, right? So just get that mindset where determination becomes very important, is what I've learned. The money, whether it's business or in life, never stops being critical. You always have to keep your eye on money. Whether you're cost-centric or revenue-centric. People always ask me, do you want to make $4 million on $10 million revenue? Meaning you make $10 million in sales and you want to make $4 million in profit? Or do you want to make $40 million in sales and make $4 million in profit? I'm a person who believes in making $4 million off of $10 million rather than making $4 million off of $40 million. Very important for me. Customers are very, very important. If you're in business, once you acquire a customer, keep the customer very, very happy, because it takes a lot of effort to acquire a customer. Every crisis actually is an opportunity to strengthen bonds. If you fight with somebody, or if you have issues with somebody and it creates a crisis, think of it as an opportunity where if you solve that problem, you're going to be having a better relationship than anything else. Be it friends, be it a wife, be it a brother, be it a sister, be it a family member. When you have crisis in family, personal life, professional life, think of it as an opportunity to build bonds. Because once you use that opportunity to build bonds, that creates a lifetime value. Now, when it comes to customers, they become your lifetime customer, and it creates a huge value overall in your life. Applying this philosophy to creating products and designing products becomes immensely creative and immensely huge when you grow and build a business. Now, everything I've said is based on what I've learned. And we are still in the path to building bigger customers. We have probably 80 to 90 customers within the Fortune 500 company list. Everyone you see here is a customer today. But it's taken a lot of hard work. It's taken a lot of determination. It's taken a lot of crisis. We build bonds, and all these customers come back to us every time, every day, and we are thankful to all of them. My key points are, keep an eye on when you leave college, when you join your new workforce, keep an eye on what's next in your space. Don't settle for what you learned in college. Start learning every day. Always build, buy, or learn about intellectual property and skill sets. Continuously evolve in your growth capability. Try to understand what is next in your path. Don't settle for your comfort zone, because that's a dream killer. Lifetime customers, always innovate, be fiscally prudent with whatever you do in life. Value differentiation comes from finding a purpose. That's the bottom line. Now, going back to the answers, people who start a business are, age is never a factor is the answer. People who start a business are, doesn't matter what your education really is. People who start a business are, love making a difference for themselves, for their community, and for their family. To start a business, you have to study in, does not matter. To start a business, you have to have determination. Doesn't matter, idea, investors, technology, money, none of that matters. Determination. Again, this is my personal opinion, and this is what I've learned, and I think I'm learning as I grow the company. Businesses that start and fail, they fail because of lack of leadership. It's not because of lack of money or lack of technology or people. It's just lack of complete leadership. Businesses are often successful not because of policies or employees or product, but because of the culture.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Now we are going to move for a question session, sir.
Sure.
Sir, did you ever think of starting a company while studying in a college?
Yes. Thanks to Annamalai University. So we used to cut classes. I'm sorry. Like, should I say that or no?
You can. Go ahead, please.
And there used to be this canteen right opposite. And I still remember sitting there and drinking coffee. And I always used to be envious of that person who was running that restaurant. It was right opposite Mayame Hall. I mean, or the RMH Kedra, there's like this set of rooms. So you can get out of the rooms and jump and go to, this was 30 years ago, 25 years ago. Edra vandu or canteen irukum. And after classes or whatever, I used to go to that canteen, and all of our friends, and of course, Mahendra, you probably also joined us sometimes. Sitting there, I always used to think, this guy is living such an happy life. He's got his own business, coffee kudukraaru, adu kudukraaru. He's always running a awesome business. Someday when I grow up, I want to run my own business. So did that answer your question?
Yeah, sir. Shall I ask the next question, sir?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Sir, is work experience a must to become an entrepreneur?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. In fact, in my opinion, work experience actually ruins your desire sometimes to become an entrepreneur, because work experience puts you in a comfort zone. This is what I went back to, right? A lot of times what happens is the work experience puts you in an environment where the employer pays you a salary and you are defined by that relationship, and you build your home, house, liabilities and infrastructure based on that employment. Unless and until you get out of your comfort zone and have real passion and commitment, you will never come out of it. So sometimes I believe, I tell my kids this, I tell my friends this, don't get caught into that web. You go take a job, but at the end of the day, be sure that you can jump out of your comfort zone, because if you don't, you're going to get caught in that employer-employee life cycle.
And so, do you think students from rural background can start a company?
Students from rural backgrounds are the best people to be able to start a company because they come unbiased, right? And I actually believe that the kids from the rural background have no, they're not biased in terms of thinking. When you grow up in a city, you're biased into the views of the city. You're biased into you being in a city where you think employment is abundant. You think everything is going to be available for you. But the kids in rural areas have always created themselves an environment where I go back again to my first slide, passion. Passion creates an environment where once you create a purpose, purpose creates passion, passion creates wants. So people in rural cities have a want because they are thinking about, I mean, again, I'm going to go back to my college days. Madurai, MRTK, Madurai, Ramanathapuram, Tirunelveli, Kamraj district. I believe the kids who came from all those environments have a better opportunity to succeed than people who come from cities, except they don't think like that. Except their wants are much higher than the kids who come from the city. So I think the probability of success for them if they start a business is very, very high. Again, this is my personal opinion. I'm very passionate about it.
So what are the upcoming and promising areas where we can start a company?
Promising areas. Okay. I just read an article where Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the government just sanctioned $1.4 trillion for the telecom sector. Okay. Manufacturing in India is going to become very, very, very key. Electronics manufacturing, any manufacturing in India is going to become very key. As students studying in Annamalai University, my recommendation would be start understanding what it takes to be part of this revolution that India is going through. Start understanding based on what the government is trying to do, because the jobs are going to be abundant, especially coming from Annamalai University, such a prestigious education center, coming from electrical, electronics engineering, mechanical engineering, whatever it is. Telecom industry is going to take a big leap in terms of India. Manufacturing centers are going to become abundant. Apple has just set up a $1 billion manufacturing center in Chennai. Tamil Nadu is the second biggest GDP creator in India. Second biggest GDP, $384 billion in GDP created by Tamil Nadu, which is like so close. And we are going to beat Maharashtra in the next 10 years, in my opinion. Tamil Nadu will become the biggest GDP creator in 10 years from now with electronics industries, with the ability to create artificial intelligence, to create edge AI, and edge intelligence is going to be very, very key. So each and every one of you start focusing on how do I participate in this revolution? You are so positioned to create a career for yourself by participating in this industrial revolution that is happening in terms of electronics, industries that are going to come to Chennai and Tamil Nadu and every part of Tamil Nadu, be ready to understand what it takes to build electronics, what it takes to be part of software, what it takes to be the person who's writing the edge intelligence is going to be very, very, very key. And even today, I saw an article or a video where Mr. Sridhar Vembu, he's a huge mentor and he's a fan. I mean, I'm a fan of his old creation, where he was talking to Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, and he said, see, we have to stop being a service economy where we support creation, and we have to become a creating economy, right? Because there's this article, there's this speech I listened to somebody who said, either you go build your dreams or somebody else will employ you to build their dreams. Till now, America was employing India to build America's dreams. But starting now, India is ready to build our own dreams. So be part of that dream. Hope I answered the question. I can't hear you.
Sir?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, okay, sir. How has studying in Annamalai University shaped you?
I think I have to thank Annamalai University. I have to thank each and every one of my lecturers. I have to thank each and every one of my professors, because without them, I will not be who I am today. And I mean it at the bottom of my heart. Annamalai University was a very different university, where professors and lecturers gave each and every one of us an opportunity to be free-spirited. We were never punished for not being free-spirited. I still remember Mr. Tenappan. I will leave his classroom and he'll say, Appa, nee poitu va, enakku eppo unakku vandu padikkanum aasai irukko appa va classroom ku appadimar. So they created an environment where they said, I won't force you to study. When you feel like studying, you come back into my classroom. And they changed the way I approached life. It was not about becoming the A-class student in the class. It was never about that. Annamalai University was never about you become the best student. Annamalai University was always about you become the best person in life.
Yeah. Rajesh, sorry to interrupt. Can you say a few words about Dr. Nair as well? So, I mean, who was a hero during our time?
He was my hero. He was my, I actually did a lot of bad things when I was in college. I was one of those very, really spoiled kids. அதாவது வாழ்த்தனம் பண்றதுன்னா காலேஜ்ல வந்து I was like the topmost in doing it. But I mean, Dr. Nair was a person who actually called me and lectured me a couple of times. And again, thank you, Mahendra. Again, Annamalai University is one thing, but having head of department like Dr. Nair, these people actually create this passion in your mind. Dr. Nair said, fine, you can do all this nonsense in life, but do you know what your purpose is? 30 years ago. So Annamalai University, I wrote an article for AUAA as part of one of the 60 members who was chosen. I said, Annamalai University was always free-spirited. Free-spirited was never binding your mindset. See, Annamalai University was not the college that will actually try to cultivate a mindset for you. My professors, my lecturers, I'm so blessed. We are also blessed that they let us believe in what we believe in, and they guided us along that path. And I think that is why we are all here, our batch and every batch in our during our 10 years, 15 years, I'm sure every batch going forward has gotten that mindset. I'm sorry, because I'm a very passionate person. So if I'm speaking with a lot of passion, if I offended anybody, I'm really sorry.
So, shall I move for our next question, sir?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
You have studied in US and employed many people from different colleges in India and US.
Yeah.
How and what skills do you think students need to work on to become an entrepreneur?
The number one trait is determination. Never give up. And the key thing that I feel is very important is technology doesn't matter. Communication is key. It doesn't matter what you've learned. It is the willingness to learn. And the biggest differentiator is being able to participate in a team. Again, I'm going to say something. I mean, coming from IIT or coming from all these other schools, some of the kids who graduate from there come with this chip on their shoulder. Varumbode, I won't be a team player. I have to be this important person, this important person. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you become a team player. You become part of and parcel of the team, and you're willing to learn. That's all matters. The ability to and the passion will go a long way, in my opinion.
So, next question.
Yeah.
We have an incubation center in a university now. What do you like to be a part of it and members some startup?
I'd like to invest in it. I'd like to invest in it. I like to be part of it. I want to coach all the kids who come through that incubation center. I'll commit to putting some money in the incubation center. I'll work with Mahendra to see what we can do to put some money into it. And if the kids are good, I'll hire them in my Chennai office.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your valuable ideas on entrepreneur. May I request Dr. Murugappan, Dean Feet, to address the gathering.
Thank you.
So thank you, Mr. Rajesh Subramaniam, for the wonderful, inspiring lecture.
Thanks.
So students have definitely been motivated by your inspiring talk. So thank you for the same. So one point. So now the students will be enthused, right? Technology doesn't matter. What they have learned or what they have not learned doesn't matter. The only thing is the willingness to learn, to work as a team. The passion, the determination matters. So if these things are there, so the student can feel confident that he will definitely succeed in his life. So thank you for the very inspiring words.
Thank you.
So I don't have words to, appreciate the spirit with which you have talked. So I request all the students who are there in the hall, right, to go through the YouTube videos you have. Starting from February 1st. So this 9-2 batch is doing a wonderful job in bringing their batchmates who are occupying great positions in their career, in their professional career, and talking to the students. So the YouTube link is always there. So I request the students to go through it and get inspired and follow them. Whichever is catching them, let them follow it and become successful in their life. So thank you. So I will take leave as I have been called by the Vice Chancellor to meet. So I have taken a break. So sorry that I could not continue in this. So with due apologies, I am leaving. So thank you, Mr. Rajesh, for the wonderful thing. And we will be in touch with you. And my sincere thanks that you are very much inspired to invest in our AARF. So we will get in touch with you through Mr. Mahendra and Mr. Gopi. So thank you very much, Mr. Rajesh.
Sure, sir. Thank you.